So I thought I would go on from my post this morning on Betsy. I'm now on Lula. It's another grey one. A slightly better mannered one, aren't you, Lula? Joe, when I got off Betsy, I had a good look at her. I might post this to YouTube because it might go on a bit. And she displayed soreness and tightness in her lumbar on the right side. Now, having seen many of them, I would imagine we'll scan her facet joints on that right side, which then leads to not wanting to bend to the left because she doesn't want to open that side, and why she's become wooden, she's protecting it. So, although she's sound and trots up sound, she does react to the lumbar on the right side. So that's a Peter job on Thursday. Thank you, Peter. Anyway, Blue and I have been discussing at length because tell them what you've been telling me.
Just like how mentally difficult it is. It's like riding is definitely mentally harder than it is physically most of the time.
Yeah.
And it does pay off on the horses, but you have to think about every single stride you ride.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm teaching Blue, I said to her, it's riding 101. And the reason I do what I do and ride how I do and why I'm so pedantic is trying to keep the horses sounder and give them longevity. Obviously it makes nicer rides as well, but when a horse starts becoming a little bit one-sided, they go through phases where you've done a few gallops, you've gone a bit quicker, they get really above themselves. Sometimes, when you're bringing them through and you're conditioning them, they're going to get a bit sore here and there. And then you have to know how to support that horse, but at the same time, sometimes you have to ride them through them being a little bit sore and just keep doing it until their body adapts. And that's really hard to know when you have a problem and when you have a horse that's just adapting. And Blue made a really valid point. Explain about your left side.
Oh, yeah. So I feel like because I find it difficult to stretch this left leg, that's why I always get pain in my left lower back.
Yeah.
I also find I grip on my left rein a lot more, but I think I tell my horses because where this leg stretches more,
Yeah.
I push them with this leg and then I hold on to them with my left rein.
Right, yeah.
And that's what causes my horses to be wonky, and I was thinking about it on Jimmy, about stretching this leg more and putting more even pressure on my right hand, so it's like diagonals.
It's really, really impressive. That's really impressed me. We know Blue is weaker. Every single rider, there's very few riders that are completely balanced. Every single rider will have one side that's stronger than the other, and every single rider, bar very few, will have one hand that's heavier than the other. And especially galloping horses, you'll always see riders have an anchor hand. When they have their bridge, they will anchor on one hand more than the other. A lot of the time it depends on the horse. I don't like anchoring. I like the horse to be level and straight in my hands. So hence I do a 1-2 and ask them to unlock and carry themselves straight, because they become like Lula, who's got very strong on the right rein, and I'm unwinding this slowly and getting her straighter. Is she stronger on the right rein and curling around my left leg on the left lead because she feels something? Possibly. She's quite a metabolic filly and she struggles, we're changing her feed, and she struggles to get the weight off, hence we're not galloping, we're just cantering. And but then the third time up today, I had her straight. And she started to relax, and she was on the right lead today, but she was straight. Her go-to is to go through her right shoulder, it's to sit on the right of the gallop. So, all young horses look for a side of a gallop to hug, especially if there's no rails. So the most important thing you can teach them is to sit in the middle of the gallop and be straight. And I bang on about straightness all the time. And, Blue and I were chatting, and she's at the gym every night, which is so commendable. But I said all the gym work in the world will not help her unless she becomes more level.
Yeah.
So we're going to do Pilates.
We are going to do Pilates.
We're going to do it together, and I'm going to realise just how weak I've gotten in certain areas. It's really, really common. And the other common thing is people when they hold the reins, which Blue doesn't do, she might use a little bit of security with her left hand. And actually watching you trot yesterday on Dora, it's learning that when they drop and soften against you, you don't fall back and lose your balance. So that will come. Again, it's all the little core muscles and what have you, but it's really important. I have to physically tell people, relax your hands on the reins. Relax your hands on the reins. You don't need to grab those reins like that. You want fingertip pressure. If you don't have fingertip pressure, then you are pushing so much pressure through to that horse's mouth. And you know, when you have a horse at full gallop and they're relaxed, you can have fingertip pressure. Obviously, if they're really tanking, clearly you can't, but you can feel the minute that horse softens and relaxes, you reward. Even if you don't give them more rein, you reward it by softening your hands on the reins. And even when you have hold of them, you can squeeze the reins and keep squeezing one and releasing without moving your hands, and help the horse to soften off of it. So there's so many reasons we ride these horses like these. It's to keep them straight, first and foremost, straight and balanced and correct on both sides. You know, it's harder than any other discipline to keep them correct and straight, because they're using their body so much more, especially for the full-on galloping. You know, you can't full-on gallop a young horse if it can't carry its body in a straight line up a gallop. That's it. It's your bottom line, on both legs. You know, they have to be able to go evenly on both legs, and it's a lot harder than you think. So that's why I'm so pedantic about my riders and riding, because I want my horses to last, you know, and trying to get a rider to balance and be independent and completely balanced in their seat and hands at the same time as teaching them how to ride the horse. To get the horse completely balanced is really hard, and I think that's probably why at the end of the week I am so unbelievably exhausted. It's not so much the physical, it's the mental. And Blue made a valid point about that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Your sermons have taken a back seat.
Yeah, they have. My sons have taken a back seat.
To just processing everything. But do you know what? I don't know another kid that tries as hard as her. You're not a kid, you're 21. I won't say that. Another young girl, a young lady, Lula, who tries as hard as Blue does and puts so much effort in. And
Very trying.
very trying. No, you're not. You're not. You make my brain fucking hurt some days. I'll give you that. I'm like, hang on, I'm concentrating on my horse just for a minute. Just let me think about, because more often than...
Joe.
I get, like, some days I have to think about the horse I'm riding, because most of the time I can ride them without any brain power and just body, and my body does what I need to do. I'm lucky I'm that old. But, and I'm trying to ride Blue's horse with her mentally, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, just do something, you can do it. But we're narrowing down her issues in her back and her, you know, hips, and I think we'll get there. We will get there. We'll do some Pilates. I'll see if anybody knows a lovely local Pilates teacher who might want to come here once a week. I'm trying to G the others up to doing it. We haven't had that much enthusiasm, have we? They all went a little bit quiet when we talked about it.
Lock the tackling door.
Yeah, they're not allowed out. We'll just lock them in the barn. And yeah, I'm quite happy to pay for that for my staff to have a lesson once a week. Probably, it would be nice if it was on... I don't know, as much as I say it'd be nice if it was on a Saturday so Ella could join in. These guys who just want to get done and finish on a Saturday, so it's a bit tricky, but we'll see. Huh?
I think midweek maybe.
I know.
Not the start of the week, because we can't tire ourselves out too much on a Monday.
We need it on a day, maybe a Wednesday.
Ooh, or a Thursday when we lose school.
Yeah, but then we're going to be crippled for a Friday when we ride again.
Yeah, Wednesday, so we lose school Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Never going to happen, is it? No, we'll have a go. Anyway, I might post a bit of this on Joe Davis Racing and then post a bit of the rest of it on YouTube. I just think it's important, and I think it's important for people to know how much we can make horses wrong if we are wrong and not level. Anyway, here endeth the sermon of Jojo. Catch you all later. I'm having a coffee, thank the Lord.